What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
The Fevers were eliminated from the playoffs last week, and the WNBA's ticket sales, attendance, and viewership have alarmingly decreased due to Caitlin Clark's absence.
Look at this little chart right here. The Fever will have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year. And the second best to that was in 1999 with the Washington Mystics at just over 400,000. So the Fever are going to account for over 200,000 more fans this year to their game.
While some supporters see that Caitlin's absence is a problem, others see it as an opportunity for her to sharpen her media skills because they think her responses to scandal have been inadequate.
Caitlin's departure, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full swing.
Returning to Caitlin's supporters, many have simply stopped watching the WNBA due to the vitriol she was receiving, not to mention the bias against her in the major games. Now that she is out, they are unable to handle and have finally come to terms with the reality of the Caitlin Clark effect.
I don't want to be in this situation next year where I'm saying, do you remember when you people were giving her grace, saying that she's 22, media training is not there. 1 year afterwards, she's still in the same position.
Is that even after her outstanding performance, Caitlin did not get a third game against the Sun because the WNBA will have to fight their way through the playoffs trying to scrape even half of the viewers Caitlin would have brought. Caitlin was pushed, poked, and slammed to the ground by several other players without any fouls being called. The WNBA has experienced ups and downs over the years, but it's no secret that things have radically changed since Caitlin Clark joined the league. Clark is a generational talent who has given the league the excitement and attention it had been longing for. Her influence was felt right once, not just in terms of her domination on the court but also
number of viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 17, 18,000.
Yep. Clark is more than just a standout athlete. She is a phenomenon who has revitalized the league. However, now that her season is over due to the Connecticut Sun defeat, the league is finding it difficult to sustain the momentum she created without her. It appears as though the WNBA has reached a dead end and is unable to recreate the enthusiasm that Clark's presence brought.
Caitlin Clark, she is the first Division I player, and that is male or female, to record 3,000 points, 900 assists, and 800 rebounds.
In actuality, the WNBA has completely collapsed in many ways, and it is now evident that Caitlin Clark's absence has caused the league to drastically decline. When Clark was playing, the WNBA felt alive. The buzz, hype, and excitement were all there, and people who didn't usually watch women's basketball suddenly became glued to their screens, eager to see what Clark would do next.
All the women that have been calling for the equality, and now that there is the chance for them to start getting paid more because the exposure's up. Because it's her, you have people like, what's her name, Jamelia Hill or what? I can't stand her.
Yeah.
You got these women who are coming on here and they're saying it's because she's...
Let's face it, without Clark the WNBA is missing its spark, and the numbers back it up as viewership and attendance have taken a noticeable dive. Predictions heading into this playoff season had anticipated strong numbers, especially following Clark's breakout regular season. The league and its fans were optimistic, hoping that the interest Clark generated throughout the season would carry over into the playoffs, creating a surge in audience engagement and viewership, but those projections didn't materialize. Instead, since her exit, the stadiums aren't as packed as expected and the TV ratings have taken a nosedive. To put things in perspective, when Caitlin Clark plays, she consistently draws in over 1 million viewers. That's right, 1 million people tune in just to watch her. This kind of viewership is nearly unprecedented for the WNBA in recent years, as the league had previously struggled to pull in such massive numbers. People arranged their schedules around her games, ensuring they could catch her live either by attending in person or watching from home. However, without Caitlin Clark, the league is finding it difficult to sustain that interest. The WNBA can hardly reach 300,000 viewers per game, which is a startling decline in viewership that speaks volumes about her influence and importance. When Clark is on the court, people want to watch her style of play, her personality, and her ability to deliver in crucial moments make her an athlete that transcends the sport, but when she's not involved, it's as if no one cares.
There is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball ratings. Kudos to her. She has elevated an entire sport in viewership.
The league, which was booming when she was on the court, suddenly feels like it's limping towards the finish line, and the same level of excitement just isn't there. It's not just that Clark is a fantastic player, it's also that she is a unique athlete that people adore, and when that phenomena isn't on exhibit, the interest. She can score from anywhere, drop dimes with accuracy, and dominate games on her own, but her influence goes much beyond the stat sheet. She fades swiftly, leaving the WNBA struggling to attract the attention it had during her breakthrough season. Caitlin Clark transcends the sport in a way that very few athletes can. She adds a level of energy, excitement, and unpredictability to every game she participates in. You never know what she's going to do next, but you can be sure it will be something special. For this reason, her games draw crowded stadiums, and millions of people watch her from home because she's a spectacle rather than just a player.
Caitlin Clark is coming. Some people think she's already arrived. I don't. I think she's going to be even better. I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoops, there is no woman who should negate mentioning Caitlin Clark and what Caitlin Clark is doing for the game.
She is unquestionably charismatic. She is more than just a basketball player. Every time she takes the court, her fearless demeanor, deep three-pointers, and no-look passes put on a show. Fans adore Clark's ability to make every game feel like an event, something you don't want to miss, and they are captivated by her swagger, confidence, and unwavering drive to win. However, when she isn't playing, the WNBA loses that magnetism. Without her, the league becomes less of a spectacle and more of a basketball game, which regrettably doesn't draw the same attention. Even the most ardent WNBA fans find it harder to stay engaged without her.
Caitlin Clark, number 1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4. We talked about this earlier in the season. I feel sad that Kate Martin also hasn't gotten as much playing time the second half of the season. I feel like she deserves more, or maybe she deserves a different team. How crazy would that be if she went to Indiana? Just saying.
Fans find this situation even more frustrating because of the way the WNBA treats Caitlin Clark when she plays. You would think that a player of her caliber, someone who attracts large audiences and puts the league in the spotlight, would be protected and respected on the court, but that hasn't been the case repeatedly. We've seen referees treat Caitlin unfairly, refusing to give her the same calls that other players in the league would easily receive, whether she's being fouled on the perimeter or hacked on drives. Playing field officials have continuously allowed her to be treated like the problem on the floor. This lack of respect from the referees is puzzling, especially given how crucial Clark is to the league's success. It's almost as if the WNBA doesn't recognize that she is their greatest asset. Rather than protecting and promoting their rising star, they allow her to be mistreated because the league doesn't want her to succeed or, worse, doesn't care about the negative effects of this treatment. Fans are aware of this and are fed up with it. They can recognize when a player is being unfairly singled out, and the ongoing prejudice against Caitlin has left many of them disillusioned with the league. Rather than encouraging the enthusiasm and devotion that Clark brings to the WNBA, this mistreatment is driving fans away and making them wonder about the league's priorities. Although Clark supporters are incredibly devoted, they are also fed up with the hate, bias, and treatment that Caitlin endures on the court. Whether it comes from rival players who single her out, referees who seem to be harsher on her than anyone else, or even the league itself, it frequently feels like there is an agenda against her instead of celebrating their biggest star. As a result, many fans have reached their breaking point and have simply stopped watching. Why support a league that goes out of its most talented and marketable player?
Cheryl Swoops, all y'all other haters out there, and I'm gonna call you out, man. Cause it's blatantly obvious why you hating on the young lady. If she was black, man, everybody be going crazy about Caitlin Clark right now. But she not. And what I appreciate about it is just that. She ain't stereotypical.
Fans' decision to boycott WNBA games following Caitlin's elimination from the playoffs isn't just about her absence from the postseason. They've seen how she's been treated throughout the season, enduring bias from officials and a lack of protection from the league. Now, they're making a statement that fans are no longer willing to engage with a product that doesn't protect or promote its brightest star without Caitlin, and this disconnect is reflected in the significantly lower viewership numbers. The WNBA's incapacity to handle Caitlin fairly has resulted in a reaction that is currently affecting its bottom line, and the loyalty of Clark's fan base extends to her rather than the league as a whole. Without her engagement, they have little reason to continue watching. The harsh truth is that the WNBA will suffer greatly without Caitlin Clark. Prior to her arrival, the league frequently found itself overshadowed by other sports and struggled to break into the larger conversation. While there were notable stars and a devoted core of fans, the league consistently struggled to maintain mainstream attention. All of that was altered by Caitlin Clark, but now that she is no longer involved, the WNBA is reverting to its previous state of not being able to draw in the public. The enthusiasm that once flourished during Clark's games has now subsided, and the league is struggling with a lack of excitement. It is evident that Cait Clark has single-handedly revitalized the WNBA, and without her, the league is once again facing an uphill battle.
And it looks like we're not going to be seeing Caitlin Clark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that Caitlin Clark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3-on-3 unrivaled.